Alright, so before we get into this review, short disclaimer, lower your expectations because I will not be making fun of this director's name. I think it's been done way too much by almost every movie critic out there. It's just not funny anymore, so I am not doing it. Okay? Alright, now that's out of the way, let's dive into M Night Shyamalan's new movie, Split. Confession time, I actually like M Night Shyamalan. Not all his movies though. The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, and The Visit, and that's about it. So I was low-key looking forward to Split since I heard about it after its premiere last year September at Fantastic Fest, and it started generating some positive buzz. Now the rest of the world saw it since January 26th, but of course we got it late, so the review is late. Sorry, I guess. Split stars James McAvoy as Kevin, Dennis, Barry, Miss Patricia, Hedwig, and no, he's not doing one of those Eddie Murphy bits. He's playing a character with dissociative identity disorder. And it's kind of hard to talk about this film without delving into spoilers. And of course this is going to be a spoiler-free review because I don't want to ruin it for you. What I will say is that the movie involves one or more of McAvoy's 23 different personalities perpetrating a kidnapping of some teenage girls in order to facilitate a ritual of sorts to appease the emergence of a 24th personality known as the Beast. Casey, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, is along for the kidnapping when she accepts a ride from one of her friend's father, and when they're taken, she is as well. And the bulk of the film follows the girls' interactions with Kevin's different personalities as they try to find a way to escape captivity. Kevin also interacts with his therapist throughout the movie, who begins to suspect that something is awry, and then she starts her own investigation that gets more and more intense as the film progresses. And that's as much as I could say without getting into spoiler territory, because you really have to experience this film to understand fully what's going on, but more importantly to experience the performances, because plot aside, this is what I feel really drives this film: the performances, particularly by James McAvoy and Anya Taylor-Joy. Now, were all the performances good? No, let's be real. This is still a Shyamalan film. James McAvoy just dominates this movie. He kills it. And I've always felt like he was a very underrated actor. I really like him as young Professor X in the new X-Men movies, not the old ones. And I really enjoyed him in The Last King of Scotland. But I personally feel like this is an award-winning performance. He's able to infuse the different personalities with little nuances and tics that are both overt and subtle, like different accents or different inflections to his voice that just add layers to the character and make them feel very separate and distinct.
My name's Hedwig. I have red socks. He's on the move.
And him doing those different accents is particularly impressive considering this is his real accent.
An audience will buy you as one character, hopefully. And then you've got to go, forget that, now buy me as this next person.
Anya Taylor-Joy also gives a very solid performance as Casey, whereas James McAvoy's performance was more grandiose and full of energy and just intense. Her performance is a lot more reserved and withdrawn, and that's really fitting with her character arc that you'll see play out throughout the film. The other two girls, not so much. You could really tell that they don't have much big screen experience. This one seemed really forced throughout all her scenes where she had to be distraught. Like, just stop shouting so much and dragging out every single word, my god. And this one seemed to be on the verge of laughing during every scene. Like, help, I'm going to be kidnapped, but I can't stop smiling. There's one scene where the therapist visits a friend who IMDb credits as game show enthusiast. And this scene is just pure exposition, but there are parts during the conversation where the friend, the game show enthusiast, will just look at the TV screen and just go, no, you're not supposed to spin the wheel with your thumbs. And I couldn't help but think of the mother from The Room.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
Then again, she only has one film credit to her name and she's in the film for all of 5 minutes, so it doesn't really do much in terms of damaging the film, but it did take me out of the film for a while. The movie is framed very well too. I think it does a lot of things intentionally to fit in with the motif of the title, Split. Like, a lot of the times characters will just be smack dab in the middle of the frame, like they're splitting the screen in two. And even the cell where the girls are being held is separated by a very solid dark line, and it fits with the motif, but it also is a very cool bit of foreshadowing, so see if you could spot that. And also during some close-ups in the film of certain characters, you actually see where half of the face is shadowed and half of the face is lit, and that's very symbolic. And I found all these little visuals to be a nice touch to the overall film. Now, I've heard some people say that this movie is slow, and I'd have to kind of disagree with them. There is a build-up to certain things, but I feel that even when the film does drag at points, because it does, it's a Shyamalan film, it does drag. The scenes where it gets intense really helps it to pick back up, and I did not feel the 2+ hours pass in the cinema at all. And that's really all I can say with this one without delving into spoilers. I would like to do a deeper analysis of the intricacies of the film, but I really think this is one you should go and see for yourself so you can experience all the moments that the film has to offer. Split really feels like a real return to form for M Night Shyamalan. Sure, there are a lot of Shyamalisms like weird dialogue that make you say, someone wouldn't say that, and heavy exposition, and the film drags a bit in parts, but it really seems like Night has listened to his fans and others in the industry. Split has great performances by James McAvoy and Anya Taylor-Joy, and has some moments of real tension and suspense that will suck you right in. And if you're a fan of his early works, you will want to stick around for the end. It's kind of great that there were actually a lot of people that still want to watch his movies, considering he's the guy that made After Earth and ruined The Last Airbender. But unlike some directors, he remained humble, and we as the audience are rewarded with this one for sticking with him. I, for one, am happy that Night is still out there making films like this. I give this one a watch it. It's decent to know. Don't forget to whine on that like button and throw some waste on the share button as well. Tell all your friends. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We need it. And remember, I'm not a film critic, but I can definitely rock a review. See you at the cinema. Nerd fact. In this movie, James McAvoy plays a character with dissociative identity disorder, and he has 23 different personalities. James McAvoy also plays Professor X. In the comics, Professor X has a son who goes by the handle Legion, and Legion's power is that he has a form of dissociative identity disorder, and each of his personalities have different powers. On top of that, they're currently developing a series on FX called Legion starring this character, and it's going to be connected to the film universe where James McAvoy plays Professor X. Mind blown.